I do understand we should force the law and everybody equal, but this is not just, this is racist. This is against people who don't have to go through this.
We begin with fallout after yesterday's massive law enforcement operation at a horse racing arena in Wilder that ended in dozens of people being detained by ICE. Thank you for joining us here on the News at 10. I'm Morgan Romero. Nearly 200 local, state, and federal law enforcement officers carried out a federal search warrant at La Catedral Arena yesterday. Officers arrested 4 people accused of running an illegal gambling operation. Here they are on your screen. Tonight, we've also learned a 5th person was charged and arrested in connection with the case. Yesterday's FBI-led raid happened at the same time as a public horse racing event with families in attendance. Ivan Tellez of Wilder, the owner of the arena, was arrested Sunday, along with Samuel Bejarano Colin and his wife Diana Fajardo. According to their criminal complaints, they're Mexican citizens living in Nissa, Oregon, undocumented. Alejandro Estrada, who lives in Buell and is also undocumented, was also arrested Sunday. Cesar Iniguez Orozco was taken into custody in Meridian tonight in connection to the case. They're all charged with illegal gambling under federal law. Investigators also say between 6 and 11 horse owners are involved in the alleged illegal gambling business. Criminal complaints were filed in federal court just a few days ago, showing this all started months ago. In February, someone tipped off agents about illegal gambling tied to horse races at La Catedral Arena. Tellez's criminal complaint says he has a permit from Canyon County to hold racing events at the arena, but betting is not allowed. Court records show Bejarano regularly posted about the gambling operation on Facebook, and investigators believe he is the bookmaker and administrator of it all. Fajardo is accused of taking wagers and handling proceeds on race day. In August and September, undercover agents went to a race at the arena and said they witnessed betting couriers, Estrada and Orozco, with backpacks full of cash. According to complaints, financial records show thousands of dollars in bets processed through apps like Venmo. Investigators say they uncovered messages where Bejarano openly accepted bets on future races. A judge signed warrants in September, and on October 15th, federal prosecutors filed charges. And along with those arrests, ICE detained dozens of people at the arena. They checked documentation and processed them. Many were released, including all the children, but many others were not. This video shows a person being pulled out of a porta potty and thrown on the ground. Detainees' family and community members protested outside the Canyon County Administrative Building earlier today. The ACLU and Poder of Idaho held a news conference sharing what they know right now about those who were detained. Aspen Shumper continues our coverage tonight. Aspen, several families were outside the Elmore County Jail, where we know detainees are being held, and they were searching for some answers.
Yeah, Morgan, right. Those families tell me they've heard very little information the last 24 hours. Today, they hope to see their loved ones or learn when they'd be released or where they'd be taken.
It's been very, very tough.
Kelly Torres' husband loves to watch horse racing. He took their grandson to La Catedral Horse Arena in Wilder on Sunday.
He loves going with his grandpa.
She says what was meant to be a family outing in a place they regularly go turned into their worst nightmare.
I would never expect to happen to my husband, and it did yesterday. And it hurt me so bad.
Her husband called her saying the FBI and ICE showed up to the racetrack and she needed to come get their grandson.
I'll never forget the phone call, and he was so like his voice. Like, I've never heard his voice before like that.
Nearly 200 federal, state, and local officers executed a search warrant. 4 people were arrested in connection with an alleged illegal gambling operation on Sunday, but dozens of others were detained by ICE, including people who were there watching the races, like Torres' husband. When she arrived, law enforcement released her grandson to her.
He was crying, very crying, because he kept on saying, "My grandpa, my grandpa, my grandpa."
But she says her husband was placed in a white van and taken somewhere else.
They would not let me talk to him. They would not let me, go nowhere. They wouldn't give us any questions or anything.
As he got in the van, she blew him a kiss goodbye and told him she loved him.
He was the first to go.
Torres wasn't comfortable sharing her husband's immigration status or whether he had a criminal record, but she says they did not know about any potential illegal gambling at the racetrack. Torres says she was left in the dark about where her husband was taken until Monday afternoon.
My daughter sent me a message telling me he's here in Elmore.
She says the Elmore County Sheriff's Office's mobile patrol app listed her husband as, quote, released, but the Elmore County Jail told her he was still inside the jail and on immigration hold. According to ICE's website, Elmore County Jail serves as a detention facility, but immigration attorneys told the families of those who were detained and undocumented on Monday it's likely their loved ones will be moved out of state.
He's gonna go somewhere else.
And Torres, like many other families, doesn't know when she'll see her husband again.
It's been so tough, so hard, because I've been married with him for 13 years. And it's just too much right now going on.
Torres and other families were told they could set up virtual visitation appointments with their loved ones inside the Elmore County Jail, but families say the website appears to be down and causing some complications in order for those visitations to happen. We'll continue working to find out what's happening with the others who have been detained, and we'll share updates as we can. Morgan.
Aspen, appreciate your work down there. The FBI was scheduled to hold a news conference, but they canceled it. They told us they don't have any new information to provide outside what's in the criminal complaints and what I cited for you earlier. But a spokesperson did touch on ICE's involvement, saying agents were there as, quote, part of the broader federal team to process individuals who were found to have potential immigration violations during the course of the investigation. Their presence was limited to that specific federal responsibility and was separate from the criminal gambling investigation being led by the FBI, end quote. We reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for more information about what's happening with the detainees, but we have not yet heard back.
The government came in full force, military style, helicopters, drones, and arrested and handcuffed everyone, again, including children. No person, no Idahoan, no American should ever accept whenever a government does this to its own people.
As we mentioned, the ACLU held a news conference this afternoon where attorneys and people who were at the raid described what they experienced on the ground. They said law enforcement used force, including shooting rubber bullets at people and zip tying people's hands. Immigration attorney Nikki Ramirez-Smith confirmed children were among those detained and zip-tied. She said everyone at the event was asked if they were born in the United States and then separated into two lines.
It appears that everyone that was there was detained, U.S. citizen or not. Eventually, it was over an hour that we were there that we could not get answers on what happened to the children and where the children were going. We repeatedly asked.
All the children were released within an hour yesterday. Ramirez-Smith says people who showed documentation were also released, but many undocumented people, including those without criminal records, are among those still detained in Elmore County. We also want to mention there was a counter protest outside the Canyon County Administrative Building today. Abby Wilt spoke to some of those individuals who said that this is what the Trump administration promised they would do and that undocumented people should be detained. You can watch her story right now on our website, ktvb.com. Meantime, online court records show Bejarano, Fajardo, Tellez, and Estrada will be in federal court tomorrow afternoon. We will be there and will continue to follow all the latest developments on this story on KTVB+, KTVB On Air, and KTVB.com.